The question for this week is, how did the World War II affect American women? During the Second World War, the lives of women changed dramatically. Several opportunities opened up for women once the men left for war. Without the presence of men in the household, women were called upon to fill their places in the workplace, manage finances, and become the head of the household. Jobs that were only open once to men were now open to women. And World War II really gave women the opportunity to show that they could do everything they were told they were not able to do or capable of doing for years. Um, and it allowed them to change their social status and be viewed as equals. Um, it granted them freedom and the equality that they were looking for. Women were no longer bound to staying at home, and they were actually encouraged to become active in the workplace. And they took up jobs such as cab drivers, factory workers, engineers, etc. However, once the war was over, the idea and expectation of women being housewives became increasingly enforced in the workplace, and several women were laid off or fired, and um, that was so that the returning war veterans could get their jobs back. Um, Many of the women chose anyway to go back to their old lifestyle because they were tired of having to juggle work and house duties. Um, and others chose to stay in the workplace doing pink collar jobs such as secretary, which didn't pay nearly as much as the previous jobs that they were doing. Um, a lot of women actually got married and had children after the war. But even though that there was a shift for advancement for women, traditional attitudes towards women's roles as a wife and mothers never lost their appeal, and the pre-war idea of women as wives and mothers was reiterated.